Hello again, and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and today is going to be the daily headlines report. But I know I've got to make one quick announcement. So over on the Facebook page, I did a design contest where anybody could enter in and throw out a design as long as they had full ownership of the design, picture, what have you. And then we were going to vote on it, and the winner of that, I was going to put on a coffee mug and make it as a limited edition. And that person that submitted that design was going to get a free one. And there were so many good designs. I did pick the winner, or I didn't pick it. You guys picked it. Everybody voted, and we picked the winner. And submitted it, put it in, throw it out as a limited time, and I made a mistake. So I, out of all the confusion and everything, and I'm by no means complaining, so don't take it wrong that I'm complaining or anything. I messed up. I made a mistake. So I took everybody's and put them on a coffee mug just as design. None of them ever got produced. I don't actually produce any of the merchandise. You just go on to the site and you do the editing and different things, and then it shows you a preview of what it should look like if you put it into production. The winner did get one shipped out. Well, not shipped out. It's in production as of today because the winner was chosen today. But what I was going to do was everybody, I was going to put them on there as a 2-week limited run. There is basically $1 profit for coffee mug sold. There was a lot of confusion, and again, it's my fault. I apologize because some people submitted things with logos. I even had one, and it's embarrassing. It's 2 companies that have extremely similar names, and I tagged the wrong one, and we went back and forth, and then I suddenly realized that it's there was a few letters difference, and I tagged the wrong person, and there's a whole bunch. Yeah, this morning was interesting to say the least. So I actually made sure that nothing got published until if you submitted the picture, I had to have consent that you were okay with it. Now, I did get some okays. Those are down into the description section. You can go on to the merchandise website, and any of the first couple of coffee mugs that are listed, if you purchase those will only be out for 2 weeks. If you purchase one, then $1 of every one. So I get $1 profit for the mug. The $1 per mug will go to charity, and more than likely, unless you guys say different, it's going to go to Caleb House. So if you want a chance to buy your own mug, if you did, or if you want to support somebody else's, then by all means, it's going to be about a 2-week limited edition run, and you can go do that. And then after the 2 weeks, I will basically come on, show you how much money it is, and we'll make our donation to them. So, all right, I apologize. I completely, I don't know what it is about me doing giveaways and doing contests and different things. I royally messed them up. So that's going to be something I'm going to have to definitely get better at. All right, we're 4 minutes in. I haven't even started. Let's jump straight into this, all right? So again, in no particular order, it looks like, first off, there was a suicide drone that struck a commercial ship that was carrying chemicals in the Indian Ocean. This was reported that the suicide drone, when it did make contact with the ship, that there was a fire. There was no casualties reported. The odd part is that nobody has come out and claimed responsibility for this. Usually, it's only a few hours where somebody comes out and takes responsibility. Hey, we did this. They want to show. Nobody's taken responsibility for this one. Now, if you look through history, This does kind of mesh up with what Iran has done in the past. It's not saying that they did or didn't, just saying that the way that it was done in the area and all that, if you had to pick somebody, that would definitely be in the list of the top suspects. Now, to really make it fun, U.S. officials have come out and started to very publicly accuse Iran of this very attack, as well as providing support for the other shipping issues. So I don't know if this is laying the groundwork to go in and do something about this, either to Yemen or to Iran. I would say doing something strictly to Iran is not a smart move. We'll get into that in just a minute, but could they be doing something to Iran? Well, what we did is we did a maritime, what is it, Operation Guardian Prosperity or whatever it is, where we did, I think it was up to 13 nations or 16 at one time or whatever. And we did the announcement that there was one country that backed right out of it. A couple of them said no, but one said, okay, we're going to join. And then they said, nah, never mind. Well, now there's more news. Spain and Italy have joined the withdrawal. So they are no longer a part of the coalition. A couple of these nations say that they're going to support it by sending one, maybe two naval commanders to help out. And I think there's only one country that has supplied any type of a naval warship. And I think the only reason is because it's already there. This speaks volumes. Okay, if you are the real big dog on the porch, when you call up your friends to come stand with you, and they either outright tell you no, or they come up and then they no, never mind. That's not good on the world stage. Okay, that's a lot of lack of confidence. The optics are really bad, and then it makes you start to wonder, what is it that made them do this? Are they getting wind that the United States is preparing for something that they don't want to be a part of? I did see there was talk about the lack of leadership and just a bunch of troubles and communication and what was going on. There's all sorts of things. Or could it be because we're outright accusing Iran that they don't want to be a part of any Iranian war? So we'll see. Okay, that's the best I can do on that one. We will see. Now, speaking of timing on all this, if you look at Iran, they now have basically threatened to enact its similar operation in the Strait of Gibraltar. Now, why would that be important if they close down the Strait of Gibraltar? Well, annually, that's about 20% of the entire world's trade passes through there. It's about an average about 300 ships a day. And then, not to mention, it's about 80% of the Europe's gas and oil imports. So that would be very bad if that happened. It's a pretty big threat. Now, again, we've said this multiple times, and I will continue to say it multiple times. These are just words. Now, whether it's empty words or whether it's actionable words, time's the only thing that can tell. Okay, it's that whole red line thing. Hey, you stay over there. Here's my line. Is it empty or is it real? Well, the only way to find out is if you cross that red line. So, you know, when it comes to some of these, you can go, man, they're just empty words. There's nothing here to this. Sometimes, the juice isn't worth the squeeze on toe tapping that line to find out. I think we've all heard the expression of FAFO, and one of these times, one of these countries are going to FA, and the other country is going to show them that FO part, okay? Yeah. All right, let's move on. So social media was going nuts this morning, and this one's weird. So it started off early this morning with talk that the Israeli military was preparing to basically overtake the border crossing with Egypt. And I was like, oh, okay, that kind of came out of the blue, but let's kind of look into this. And before I could really kind of dive into it to see if it was true, uh, then social media went to denial. No, that's not happening. No, no, it's all false. It's fake. Nothing's happening. Nothing's going on. Okay, that was really odd that it went from 0 to 100 back to 0 really quick. So I was like, well, maybe there's something here. So I kind of sniffed around for a second until about an hour later, I saw that Al Jazeera suddenly put out a report saying that Israeli tanks have indeed moved up to the border crossing. And then under the picture that they provided, they put a caption saying that the Egypt must basically move its military back into a safe distance because Israel, now that they have made an announcement, they're no longer going to guarantee nor take any responsibility that if any Egyptian military is harmed while they're there. I don't know. I mean, I was seeing a whole bunch of stuff on the other underground. People were talking back and forth. I was trying to vet this, and then now Al Jazeera comes in here and just makes it a big head scratcher, and I have no idea. Okay, just a data point. It's the weekend. Crazy stuff happens over the weekend. We're really close to Christmas. Uh, I'm trying to keep my ear to the ground to see what's going on, but man, there's tons of just confusing stuff going on. Um, yeah. So there was a statement by the Polish minister saying that the European Union defense industry is currently and still operating in a peacetime mentality when instead it should be converted to a crisis mode. So, is he overstating things and being dramatic, or is he the only one seeing the writing on the wall? It's kind of interesting, but uh, it's out there. He said it, and time again, we'll tell if he is true or if he's just being dramatic for attention or money or whatever it is. Next is an interesting one. So, Algeria prevented a U.S. military cargo plane that was reported to be taking weapons to Israel. They denied them entry to fly over the country. So Algeria does have it's either S-300 or S-400 missile defense systems, and they basically said, no, you're not flying over here. So data point on that one. That's an interesting data point. A lot of people are starting to take some sides. To give it a little bit further, Russia has come out and they have made claims that if the U.S. does, now we talked about this a day or so ago, if the U.S. does give its frozen Russian assets and money to Ukraine, that it would nuke, okay, not the actual nuke, but nuke the Western economy. Now, he was saying this by suggesting that the U.S.'s allies and other countries around the world would finally have their eyes open, and it would reveal that if they have any money or assets into the United States or Western economic ties, that the U.S. at any moment, for absolutely any reason, could basically come confiscate it. And that why would you have confidence to leave your money and your assets in the care of the Western economy? So just by saying that is probably going to make a few people scratch their head and go, wait a second, maybe they're on to something. Now, side note, if you haven't thought about this while I was talking, this is nice little promotion for BRICS, okay? I mean, what better way than to go to your competition and go, hey, look, they're bad, they're sinking, it's not safe, all that other stuff, but I've got BRICS, maybe try that. So I as soon as I started reading that, I was like, wow, way to promote your own. Um, now, a secondary side note. it's not really a lie. You got to take it and take emotions out, and you got to take a bunch of different things out of this if you're going to think about this critically. So take a step back and take names and everything out of it. You have, I don't know, whatever you want to do. Let's say you have $1 million, okay, and you put it into the Bank of Rural, okay. Well, if you are out there and you're living life and you're doing everything and everything's just fine, but Bob over here has money with me as well, and a few assets. I'm holding some of his property titles and car notes and things like that. And Bob says something I don't like, or Bob does something I don't like, and I go, frozen. If that doesn't immediately go, I don't know about that. Or maybe you might just take a step back and go, hey, he did something bad. He should pay the price for it. Okay, fair enough. But now I take Bob's stuff and I hand it off over here and go, nope, confiscated. You don't get it back. That might make you lose trust in that bank. In this case, countries in an economy. And with the economy the way it is right now, now is not the time for countries to lose any sort of faith in the Western economy. Next year is not looking very good. Now, again, I am no economics master or expert or giving any sort of financial advice. You might want to go over and pick up some precious metals. You may want to pull out some cash. You may want to get some assets. I've had a few people go, hey, not financial advice, but what would you do? I am a in hands kind of guy. I don't want to buy precious metal notes where you buy a piece of paper claiming you want it. If I buy something, I want it in my hand. Okay, that's ownership. It's here. I can taste it, touch it, whatever, see it. If you're buying food, if you're buying water, if you're buying precious metals, if you're buying beans, bullets, band-aids, all the prepper stuff, if it's in your hands and in your possession, it is yours. Now, what you do with it, that's up to you. So if you lose it, that's on you. If it gets stolen, it's on you. It's broken, can't fix it or replace it, sort of a thing. It's on you. So ownership. If it's floating out into the digital realm and something happens, do you really have anything anyway? Okay. It's kind of like, and I've said this to a few of the younger people that come at me with some crypto, which fool everything. I have a tiny itty bitty bit in crypto, but they were trying to talk me into more crypto. And I go, yeah, on, I forget the name, Grand Theft Auto 57 or whatever. I don't think I've ever played any one of them games, but I was like, hey, I've got, $58 quadrillion. They're like, yeah, but that's fake. I know. You can't touch it. You can hit a button and it's all gone. See what I'm saying? And yeah, they can't connect the dots on that. But all right, let's go back. So if you also remember, the Russian foreign minister Lavrov made a unannounced quick trip visit to the White House. Well, now the timing of this is very interesting, not only because of the whole economics thing that's going on, but the New York Times have come out and said that, according to their sources, Russia has sent representatives to the front line to start negotiations to end the war. Wonder if that had anything to do with it. But again, like we say with both of these, time will tell. Bringing it into the United States, I really only found one that was halfway interesting. And then I have a special one that doesn't really mean a whole bunch. So the whole controversy surrounded by Colorado taking Trump's name off the ballot, okay? Well, now 3 states, which is Georgia, Arizona, and Pennsylvania, have come out and said that they're going to start the process to remove the current Oval Office guy off the ballot. As soon as I saw this with the Trump thing, I knew this was a horrible idea, okay? Even if it was turned around and he was never going to take it off the ballot, but the current guy was, I would still say it's a horrible idea. You cannot take people off the ballot. That is the people's choice. That's what the whole point of voting is. So when you remove people off the ballot, of course you're going to have retaliation. You did it, why can't I do it? That's the whole tit for tat. That's what people do. So I knew this was just going to be a snowball effect. And it's going to be one of them ones, this is going to be so caught up and it's just going to be back and forth all over the place. And it's not going to be just president. It's going to start being on congressmen, and it's going to be on local reps, and it's going to go down to your dog catcher getting taken off the ballot. Um, I mean, this is just a start. So maybe things calm down from here. Maybe we get some quick court thing that settles this really quick. I very seriously doubt it. But if it doesn't, then this has a huge chance of just snowballing next year. I hope it doesn't. I really don't. But there's so much up in the air for next year. Next year is going to be a I don't know how to say it without sounding like I'm trying to scare people or do any sort of fear selling or something. Next year has the potential to be one of the most scary, interesting, whatever you want to put, insert label here, of just about anybody's lifetime. There is so many things that have potential of actually being probable, skipping out from like far out possible, coming closer to that probable line, and actually jumping ship into the probable line. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Okay. Hopefully we all have a great year next year. Okay. Fingers crossed on that one. All right. I said that I was going to have a special one. Now, this one's going to be kind of goofy because I had a few people that have come on and are like, oh man, it's all doom and gloom. You never have a fun, good story or anything. This is for you. I have a good story. It means something to me. Maybe it'll mean something to you. So if you have not seen it, Pizza Hut in small towns around the United States have begun doing restoration jobs to their facilities. And those ones in the small towns, let me pop some pictures up around my face here. And they're going to restore their locations back to the original themes. So if you are about my age, maybe a little bit older, you will remember the plastic red Pepsi cups and the great tasting pizza and all the different decor and all that fun stuff. It's nostalgia that brings back your childhood, and it made me smile when I was reading it. So hopefully I ended on a good note and you're smiling too. Okay. All right. I'm done. I went way beyond what I wanted to do. If you guys, made it this far, you know what I always say, you rock. Thank you so much for sticking with me through all this. We'll be back again tomorrow. I hope you guys have an amazing Saturday. We'll see you again sometime on Sunday. So I love each and every one of you. Stay tuned. Definitely more information to come. Say it with me now. Above everything else, remember, remain united because we're all prepping in this together.